Here we are. So today, September the 25th, 2022, is a Sunday. It's Sunday. And today I want to record something different. You know, every day I record myself while talking, no matter the subject, right? All I need is to keep on talking for. I started, wanted to talk for at least 2 minutes a day, but then I got more and more used to it, and so nowadays, yesterday I recorded two 30-minute videos while talking, basically by talking, by thinking out loud in English. I call them conversations with myself. And so today I want to do something different, right? Usually I record my videos while driving my car, while driving to work, and while driving back home from work. You know, I fix my iPhone on the mount that I have on my car, and I turn on the recording and I start talking. And so that's it. And I keep on talking, until I get home or until I get to the work. So that's what I do. Usually, today is Sunday. I'm in my studio. I don't work today. So I thought about a conversation I had with Leah. Leah is a Canadian English teacher living in Madrid at the moment. And so I talked to her. I told her about my way of practicing, right? So how I use my computer in order to practice my pronunciation. It's something I have fun while doing that. So, and of course, I think, while practicing, steadily every day by being committed, I think, I will pay it off, right? So my effort will pay off. So I will show you how I practice. I used to practice every day. I practice my pronunciation. I will show you. Okay, it will be better. So, what I usually do is I have here, so let me give you, so I have a series of lessons, well pronounced by this teacher. Okay.
Lesson 1. Family.
Okay.
Let's begin our study of collocations by learning some...
So, okay, I chosen this teacher because while doing that, while practicing on this text at the same time, I work on the pronunciation, of course, because I try to imitate the way she speaks, and I try to, to be correct, to be clear in my pronunciation. And other than that, I will drill expressions, collocations, right? So, okay, I will show you. It will be easier if I show you. So what I do, basically, I take the text, and I copy it here. I copied here the text, and then, of course, since I'm using my glasses, I make it as big as possible. Talking about the fonts. So this is lesson 29. I have here. I have the audio. So here is the text. Here is the audio. So I take the text, the audio, sorry, and I open the audio with this application, which is really good. The name is Transcribe. I think you noticed that I'm using a Mac computer. It's an iMac in this case. Okay, so that's it. And I open my recording application. So it's Audacity. This is Audacity. I'm using an external microphone, but you can use whatever microphone you have. You don't need to buy a new microphone. I'm using this one because I don't know the reason why. I'm a musician. I have a lot of stuff, so I like to change every now and then. So anyway, that's how it works. So I have here the text I'm going to record. Here I have the original pronunciation and the original speech. So what is playing here is exactly what I can read here. Here is my recorder, basically, right? So I start by listening to it and try to, okay, so I listen to the original pronunciation, the original speech, while reading it, and I try to shadowing or mirroring. Is a technique which is apparently, is highly recommended. And so what? Okay, I show you what I mean by saying or what does shadowing means. So, what does shadowing mean? Sorry, my grammar is not perfect, and I'm a bit panicked, because I'm doing something new. Okay, something new because I'm recording, and when you record yourself, no matter how many times you recorded yourself, you're still a bit nervous, right? You're still nervous. So, okay, so
Lesson 29.
Lesson 29.
Light.
Light.
We use the expression, the sun is shining, to talk about the sun emitting light.
The sun emitting
If the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as blinding sunlight. And if the light is not very strong, then it is weak sunlight. When the sun sets, disappears below the horizon, everything grows dark. If there's a full moon, then there will still be some light. But if there's a crescent moon or a new moon, then it will be pitch dark or pitch black, completely black, and you'll be able to see the stars twinkling in the night sky.
Okay, let's stop it here. Let's say, for example, this is a word I need to pay attention to, so I highlight it. So, and you'll be able to see the stars twinkling in the sky, in the night sky. So, and you'll be able to see the stars twinkling in the night sky, Since I pronounced it, I made a mistake twice, I will repeat this one once again. So, and you will be able to see the stars twinkling in the night sky, twinkling in the night sky, twinkling in the night sky. Okay, I repeat this first part. So we use the expression the sun is shining to talk about the sun emitting light. If the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as blinding sunlight. And if the light is not strong, and if the light is not very 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 strong, then it is weak sunlight. Then it is weak sunlight. Okay, I bit my tongue. When the sun sets, it disappears below the horizon, everything grows dark. If there's a full moon, then there will be some light. So then there will still be some light. But if there's a crescent moon or a new moon, then it will be pitch dark or pitch black, completely black, and you'll be able to see the star twinkling in the night sky. Okay, let's move on.
To describe the strength of a light, you can use the words bright and dim. A fluorescent light bulb.
A fluorescent light. This is an uncommon word for me, so I need to practice. A fluorescent light. Most of the time, when I came across a word that is complicated for me, I try to rely on fluorescent. So I look for the phonetic transcription. So fluorescent. Okay, fluorescent. And so I have fluorescent. Oh, fluorescent. Okay, I copied. Fluorescent. Where are you? Fluorescent. Here. Fluorescent light bulb emits bright. Okay, so let's listen again.
A fluorescent light bulb emits bright light, and the faint glow of a flickering candle is dim light. When light shines on an object, it makes the object cast a shadow.
Okay, so I need to pay attention to this object. So when light shines on an object, it makes the object cast a shadow. When the light shines on an object, it makes the object It makes the object cast a shadow. It makes the object cast a shadow. Cast a shadow. Okay.
An area that is protected from the sunlight is often called the shade.
The shade.
If you don't want to get sunburned, it's a good idea to sit in the shade.
To sit in the shade.
We use the word lighting to refer to a system of artificial lights, especially inside a house or building. A place can have bright or strong lighting, or the opposite, soft or subdued lighting. A low level of illumination for artistic or romantic purposes. And along the highways and roads, we have street lights. If it's nighttime and the power goes out, or there is a power outage, a lack of electrical power, then the city will be pitch.
So,
if it's nighttime and the power goes out, or there is a power outage,
there is a power outage, is a D, outage, or there is a power outage, or there is a power outage,
or there is a power outage, a lack of electrical power, then the city will be plunged into darkness. You can describe the darkness as complete or total darkness to emphasize that it is 100% dark. People will have to use flashlights or light candles to be able to see until the next morning when the sun rises or comes up.
That's great. So I completed. I listened, so I know more or less how it works. And now I'm ready to start my recording. So let's listen once again.
Lesson 29. Light.
So I recorded. Here we go. Lesson 29. Light. And I listen to it. Lesson 29. Light.
Lesson 29.
Oh, I say 29. Lesson 29. All right. Okay, so I redo it. Lesson 29. Light. Lesson 29. Light. 9. I had to pay attention because most of the time I vocalize the N, so.
Lesson 29.
9. Okay, so.
Light.
Okay, stop it. So once again here. Lesson 29. 9, no 9. 9. Lesson 29. Lesson 29. Light. And listen to it. Lesson 29. Light. Better. So, and now.
We use the expression, the sun is shining, to talk about the sun emitting light.
All right. So, we use the expression, the sun is shining, to talk about the sun emitting light. I think she emitting.
We use about the sun emitting.
So, we use the expression the sun is shining to talk about the sun emitting light. Listen to it. We use the expression the sun is shining to talk about the shining. The sun is shining to talk. Okay, so once again, we use the expression the sun is shining to talk about the sun emitting light. We use the expression the sun is shining. Once again, we use the expression the sun is shining to talk about the sun emitting light. We use the expression the sun is shining to talk about the sun emitting light. I don't like it. We use the expression the sun is shining to talk about the sun emitting light. We use the expression the sun is shining to talk about the sun emitting light. Okay, let's move on.
If the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as blinding sunlight.
Okay. Once again, so if the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as blinding sunlight. If the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as blinding sunlight. So, if the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as blinding sunlight. If the light is so strong that it's difficult, if the light is so strong, If the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as blinding sunlight. If the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as blinding sunlight. Okay, it's difficult to see. Strong that it's okay, not bad. Okay, and
if the light is not very strong, then it is weak sunlight.
Okay, and if the light is not very strong, I move my microphone so I repeat it. So, and if the light is not very strong, then it is weak sunlight. And if the light is not very strong, then it is weak sunlight. It is. And if the light is not very strong, then it is weak sunlight. Then it is weak. Then I can repeat just a part. So, then it is weak. Then it is weak sunlight. Then it is weak. It is. Then it is weak sunlight. Then it is weak sunlight. Okay. Then, okay, I usually keep on listening and recording, listening to the original, recording, listen to myself, compare myself. Now, the story will be too long, so I will try to record this part without relying on the original, right? So, when the sun sets, okay, let's try as a sort of first sight reading, so without drilling too much. So, okay, when the sun sets, disappears below the horizon, everything grows dark. If there's a full moon, then there will still be. Okay, once again. So, when the sun sets, disappears before. When the sun sets, disappears below the horizon. When the sun sets, disappears below the horizon, everything grows dark. If there's a full moon, then there will still be some light. But if there's a crescent moon or a new moon, then it will be pitch dark or pitch black, completely black. And you'll be able to see the stars twinkling in the night sky. To describe the strength of a light, you can use the word bright and dim. A fluorescent light bulb emits bright light. Okay, repeat this part. A fluorescent light bulb, and I can add it later. So, a fluorescent light bulb emits bright light, and the faint glow of a flickering candle is dim light. When light shines on an object, it makes the object cast a shadow. And, oh, what happened here? And an area that is protected from the sunlight is often called the shade. If you don't want to get sunburned, it's a good idea to sit in the shade. Okay, let's stop it here. And let's go back. Come on. Alright, so, lesson 29, light. We use the expression, the sun is shining, to talk about the sun amid light. Okay, if the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as blinding sunlight. And if the light is not very strong, then it is weak sunlight. When the sun sets, disappears below the horizon, everything grows dark. If there's a full moon, then there will still be some. What happened here? And if the light is not very strong, then it is weak sunlight. Okay. And if the light is not very strong, then it is weak sunlight. When the sun sets, disappears below the horizon, everything grows dark. If there's a full moon, then there will still be some light. But if there's a crescent moon or a new moon, then it will be pitch dark or pitch black, completely black. And you'll be able to see the stars twinkling in the night sky. To describe the strength of a light, you can use the word bright and dim. A fluorescent light bulb emits bright light. Okay, repeat this part. A fluorescent light bulb, and I can add it later. So, a fluorescent light bulb emits bright light, and the faint glow of a flickering candle is dim light. When light shines on an object, it makes the object cast a shadow. And, oh, what happened here? And an area that is protected from the sunlight is often called the shade. if you don't want to get sunburned, it's a good idea to sit in the shade. Okay, let's stop it here. And let's go back. Okay, so I show you, basically that's what I do while recording myself. It takes time, of course, right? It's not something, but the more you do. So now I will record once again, let me tell you. So because by repeating, of course, now I'm running a little bit. When I do this kind of practice, I take all of my time, and of course now I don't want to make this video too long, right, too detailed, but that's basically what I do, right? When differently from now that I'm recording, when I record just with the purpose of recording, on working on my voice, my pronunciation, now I'm recording a video talking about that. But when I'm really doing that, what I do is to take all the time. So we use the expression, the sign is shining, the sign is shining, the sign is shining. And then when something is complicated for me to pronounce, I get up of my chair here and I walk, and I walk or run around my apartment repeating, the sun is shining, the sun is shining. So when we use the expression, the sun is shining, to talk about the sun emitting light, if the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as blinding sunlight. And if the light, and if the light, and if the light, and if the light, and if the light is not very strong, then it's weak sunlight. We can, when the sunset disappears below the horizon, disappears below the horizon, disappears below, disappears below the horizon, disappears below the horizon, and so on. I can't tell you how many times I can repeat, probably 100 times. I'm not joking. Everything grows dark. If there's a full moon, then there will still be there. Okay, sometimes for me, I found complicated to pronounce, many small words like this one, two, then there will still be some light, basically are all monosyllables. And so then there will still be some light, then there will still be some light, then there will still be some light. If there's a full moon, then there will still be, then there will still be, then there will still be some light. If there's a full moon, then there will still be some light. This is a practice that I learned while playing those instruments over there, right? I'm a pianist, and so, a repetition can be boring, but is absolutely fundamental, right? If you don't repeat, you can't improve yourself. So if there's a full moon, then there will still be some light. What do I do? Most of the time, when I came across a sentence like that, or more complicated than that, I write it down, I jot it down, then there will still be some light. And I keep this scrap of paper in my pocket, and so any dead moment when I have 2 minutes, everywhere, I take it off. I take it out of my pocket, and then there will still be some light. Then there will still some light. Then there will still be some light. If there's I don't want to to drag it too much, but that's what I do. So, but if there's a crescent moon or a new moon, then it will be pitch dark or pitch black, completely black, and you'll be able to see the star twinkling in the night sky. Let's go back, because I don't give up easily. If there's a full moon, then there will still be. I think your muscles have to memorize. They also, there is a muscle memory. So if there's a full moon, then there will still be some light. Of course, for a native, am I right, Leah? And for a native, sounds crazy that something so simple could be so difficult for a non-native to be pronounced, right? So then there will still be some light, but consider that by keep on doing that, my brain keeps on working in English mode. That's important, right? So a repetition, my gosh, if you ever practiced, running or anything, I rode my bike, I was a good cyclist, now I am a decent runner, I was an excellent pianist, and I am an excellent pianist because I practice every day. But, of course, you need to be constant, to be committed, to be persistent, to keep on doing over and over, keep on repeating the same structure, right? So if there's a full moon, then there will still be some light. And I know that, something weird that happens is that today probably you can't, you practice for 10 minutes, then there will still be some light, and you keep on stumbling, blocking, but, like a miracle, maybe in 3 hours you will go back to this sentence, and my gosh, and then that's when you learn that your brain has processed everything, right? So because in 3 hours, 4 hours, say, oh my gosh, everything is fluent. This sentence that right now is not fluent, by practicing, and it seems not to get fluent, more fluent than it is. But in 3 hours, 4 hours, without drilling it over, it will be fixed by itself or something like that. Okay, so we use the word lighting to refer, I'm here, we use the word lighting to refer to a system or to a system of artificial lights, especially inside a house or building. Okay, anyway, I showed you basically, my way of working, practicing this, this aspect of the language, the pronunciation. By doing that, I'm learning the stars twinkling in the night sky, I'm memorizing, the light can be strong. You don't say the light is dark, because, it's how do you say that? Collocation word, so words that go together. So a weak sunlight or a strong sunlight. So you tend to study a medium light, right? So this is the verb that usually goes along well with the noun, right? So light goes along well with a medium. So, and let me, blinding sunlight. So when, if the light is so strong that it's difficult to see, we can describe it as, we can call it a blinding sunlight. So, after practicing this lesson, tomorrow while driving my car, when I will need to put on my sunglasses, I will repeat to myself, my gosh, today, we have a blinding sunlight, right? So because it's strong, the light is so strong that it's difficult to see. And so I will try to repeat as much as I can all these expressions. So the light shines on an object, it casts a shadow, you cast a shadow, and now, the light, it makes the object cast a shadow. So how many times during the day it happens something like that? And so if you are in English mode and you remember this lesson, you will say, oh my gosh, that object is casting a shadow. Let me say, oh, the bicycle is casting a shadow. Oh, my body is casting a shadow on the road. Or let's say that lamp is casting a shadow, or something else, So, okay, important, so a dim light, a faint glow or a flickering candle is a dim light, is the opposite of a strong light, bright light or dim light, right? So to describe the strength of a light, you can use the word bright and dim. So why pronouncing? Why working on the pronunciation? At the same time, you're enriching, you're broadening your vocabulary, you're widening your vocabulary, you're adding words to your vocabulary. So this word is also important, right? There is a power outage. I did another word, outage. A lack of electrical power, a power outage. So if it's nighttime and the power goes out, phrasal verb, go out, and the power goes out, so probably I wouldn't have used. Now I know that the power goes out. And what does it mean, a power goes out? It means that there is a power outage. And what is it? It's a lack of electrical power. A power outage is a lack of electrical power. This is the way I drill everything. So I think it's enough for today. I'm not bored at all, but I think you will probably be. And so I think I made I don't know, probably was not the best video I could I could have done it better. Probably I could do something better than that. But it was important for me to do. First task accomplished is that I could record my today video, 30 minutes, more than 30 minutes. Let me check it out. Yeah. Okay, so more than 30 minutes, more than 30-minute video. I need to drill when to use 20 minutes video. No, it's a 20-minute video because in this case, 20 minute is an adjective. Video is the noun, and so the adjective you don't need to put. You can't put an adjective in the plural, right? So these are good friends. You don't say these are good friends, as in Italian or in Spanish or in other languages. Good friend, because good is an adjective. And so same for the 30-minute is an adjective in this case. So this is a 30-minute video that I just recorded. So I think it's enough for today. What else can I tell you? I don't know, nothing more. Okay, this is a bit stupid, but I like to conclude, to end, to come to an end when it comes to my videos with a sort of a stupid, mantra. Yeah, that I use is to say bye, bye, bye. But I like to use a song, and so today will be an Elton John song. And it will be, let me think, tell me if you can understand which song is it. So, bye, 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 bye. Have a good afternoon, all of you. Bye, 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 bye.